Welcome to the Leadership Challenge Show again here on EBN TV. We thank you for your continued support and patronage to this wonderful program where we strike conversations on matters that touch on leadership. Our aim and goal is to ensure that we impact and transform the leadership that we have. We have great challenge when it comes to matters of leadership, whether it is nationally, whether it is county-wise, or other levels of leadership. Also, we have leadership challenges in institutions, whether in government institutions, colleges, and universities, and in churches, and also in our homes and in our families. And for the first time here on EBN, we are striking a conversation on parenting as leadership, or leadership in parenting. I'm glad that you are watching. At the bottom of the screen, make sure you find a number and let us know. Keep us knowing what your thoughts are about the topic of discussion today. We are blessed to have a well-seasoned leader and an expert on issues of parenting, and I am glad all parents, wherever you are, this is a very wonderful time to check on your parenting skills. We have Dr. John Wesley Nyaga together with us in studio. Daktari, karibu.
Asante.
Please greet the audience and say something as we take off.
Jambo to all of you that are watching us in this session, and I'm so pleased to be in this studio today, and I want to believe together with the Reverend we are going to tackle some of the issues that are going to be of help to us, to add more knowledge to what we have as we learn together and as we share together on the issues on parenting in relation to leadership. Yes, so welcome. I believe we are going to have a good time together.
Thank you so much for finding time to be together with us.
You're welcome,
I
sir.
really want us to talk today.
Yes.
Because parenting is really an issue.
Indeed.
And I want us to make impact on parenting.
Yes.
And today, as we discuss leadership in parenting, Dr. Nyaga, please help us to understand, because leadership is influence.
Yes.
How should parenting, how influential should parenting be, and how key is parenting? Help us to understand right from there.
Thank you. Parenting is very, very key.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's key, it's because it's a God-given responsibility.
It's a God-given responsibility.
It's not a man-made. This is not man-made. This is a God-given responsibility.
Okay, okay.
To any given parent,
yes,
number one, you have no power to get children.
Oh.
It is God who gives us children.
Yes.
No one has power to get children. Children are God-given to us.
They are God-given to us.
The Bible says in Psalms 127 and verse number 4,
yes,
that children, verse number 3, children are a gift
from the Lord.
From the Lord.
And
if you are given a gift,
yes,
then it is expected of you to handle that gift in the best way possible.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you'll also be accountable of how you handled that particular gift. So children are a gift to us as parents.
Yeah.
And we need to know then, how do we handle them? Now, in terms of parenting and leadership, we need to understand that parenting is a responsibility that is given to us by God.
Yes.
It's a God-given responsibility. And we need to bring up our children right from childhood until they become responsible adults.
So parenting is right from childbirth?
Yes.
Until they become responsible adults?
Yes. Actually, I want to take it even back. It should not be at childhood. It should be even before that child is born. at conception, the moment you have known now there is a child coming, you need to begin to prepare yourself psychologically for that child.
Yes.
How will I bring up that child? How will I rear that child?
Yeah.
What will I do with this child? And like every leader,
yes,
you need to have goals.
Yes.
You need to have a vision.
Oh, the same way other leaders set
the same
goals.
Way other leaders set goals, you need also to set goals for yourself in terms of parenting.
Yeah, yeah.
So that you'll be able to bring up this child in the right way.
Yeah.
And knowing that there is a target.
Yes.
There is what you want to bring up out of this of this child.
Yes.
You realize, Reverend,
yeah,
that where we are coming from, our background, the way we are brought up, there are things that were good and there are things that were bad.
Yes.
We need to capture that so that as we continue in parenting, then we should be able to understand what kind of children are we bringing up.
Oh.
Yeah. If we look at ourselves,
yes,
how are we? Are we the way we are because of the input that our parents made? Or are we the way we are because we made ourselves? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, now that God has given us our own children, what do we want to do with them? Are we going to repeat the same mistake? Maybe that our parents did. Okay. Or are we going to do something different?
Yes.
If we understand that, then we will not make mistakes. We will be responsible enough when it comes to our parenting today. Now, in terms of our input today, if we look at every organization, even looking at your organization here,
yes,
as the key leader, there is a vision that you have. And that vision did not start when this establishment was the way it is.
No.
That vision was in you, even before it was known by anyone else.
Yes.
It was in you. And then you put your own strategies before you began now to roll out the vision.
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Yeah.
And that vision began to get known by people. And as a result of that vision, today you have affected very many lives. Very many lives.
Yeah.
As an organization. You have affected very many lives. Now, looking at that setup, it cannot be different even from a family. When you come to the family,
yes,
you and your wife, I and my wife, when God brought us together, we didn't come together with the children. We were the two of us, my wife and I.
Yes.
And because we were the two of us, we needed to lay a vision for our family.
Yeah.
That if God will bless us with the children, what kind of children do we need to bring up?
Yeah.
What kind of parents shall we be? And that's the preparation that parents need to have. So that when the children are coming, you are not being caught by surprise. It is not sudden that, oh, I have a child.
Mimi ni mzazi.
Mimi ni mzazi sasa.
Oh.
What do I do? And then you start running up and down. Ukiuliza mtu ufanya nini?
So parents need to prepare themselves even before the child comes.
Even before the child comes.
During their firstborn.
Yes.
The reception of their firstborn.
Before the conception of their firstborn, they need to understand that we will be parents if God blesses us with children.
And they should prepare themselves adequately.
Psychologically, emotionally,
yes,
physically, materially,
wow,
resource-wise, they need to get themselves ready so that it will not be a problem when the child comes.
You know, I'm wondering how do they do this? How will they do this? Because I also remember how I felt the first time we got our first
Firstborn,
baby.
yes.
And I can say that I was not ready in one or two areas.
Yes.
How do people prepare themselves psychologically for the, what should they do so that their minds are set?
Okay. Number one, we need to understand that this child, when he or she comes, it will be an added responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
It will be an added responsibility.
Hata chakula inaongezeka.
Number one, there will be food, additional food. There will be resources, clothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Itakuwa itaongezeka, chakula, mavazi. Then you also need to understand that it will demand your time.
Oh, yeah.
You see, when you are just the two of you, the way you are with your wife before your firstborn came, ilikuwa mnashauriana asubuhi tufanye nini. Wewe kila mtu anaamuka akienda zake.
Yes.
Mtapatana tena jioni. But now kuna kamtu kameingia hapa.
Na kanahitaji time.
Kanahitaji attention.
Wow. Okay.
Kanahitaji time.
Wow.
So how prepared are you?
Yeah.
Are you going to make sacrifices for that? For her?
Wow.
Now let me tell you, I like giving myself as an example. I wish my wife was able to come along with me. I got married in 1994 on the 16th of April.
Wow.
That's when I did my wedding.
94?
1994.
Which month?
April 16th.
I'm just trying to make sure that you did not get married on the day I got married.
If it was the day, we will praise the Lord together. And then
mine was 94, June the 4th.
June the 4th.
Yeah.
That's very close. Mine was 16th of April, 1994. So
a little bit ahead of me.
A little bit ahead.
Yes.
We will be combining our anniversaries.
Yeah,
It's a good one.
Very soon.
Yeah. So my wife was a business person.
Businesswoman.
She was doing business. She was tailoring clothes, making women clothes, and she was doing very, very well, pretty well. She had a big shop in Embu. I was a teacher.
Hey, okay.
A primary school teacher.
Wow.
And I had just joined the career because I joined the career in 1993.
Wow, okay.
So, as we were preparing for marriage and for our wedding, there are things we had to agree. If God blesses us with a child, what shall we do? And we had to agree what kind of a child are we going to bring up.
You did that?
Yes.
Before you even got married?
Before we even got married.
You discussed about it?
We discussed that
during
our courtship.
My dear viewer, are you hearing that? Yeah. Because some of us are entering into marriage, they have not even talked about children. So when children come, they happen like accidents.
Yes.
Yes.
You see now, that is the purpose of courtship. When you are courting, there are so many things that you need to discuss.
Yes.
And the children is part of that discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Not just how many children, but what kind of children do we want to bring up? What do we want to see? Are we going to bring up children that will impact the society? Are we going to bring up children who are walking in the fear of God? So with that, then we need to begin getting ourselves prepared so that when the child comes, it will not be an accident, it will not be a surprise. So we discussed it with my wife. And the first agreement we did was, if God blesses us, we will have about 4 children. We have
you even agreed about the number?
Yes. We will have 4 children if God blesses us. And for sure we had 4.
Wow.
But 1 was taken away by the Lord.
So sad,
yeah. So we now have the 3.
About that.
Thank you. We have the 3. Number 2, we had to agree. How do we bring up these children?
You agreed how you will bring up the children?
Yes, that is before we got married. And the agreement was, our children will not be brought up by someone else. It is us. So even if we employ a helper in the house,
it is not the helper who is bringing up the
It is not the helper who will bring the child. It is us.
Wow.
And so, it calls for sacrifice. And so we had to agree. Even before we got into marriage, we had to agree. One of us will sacrifice your job.
Daktari, do you think many parents are really there I think they count the house help as the person bringing up the child.
They are not there.
Have they really taken that responsibility?
They have not.
Majority of them.
Majority of them have not. And that is what I want us to, to work on, so that people can begin to correct where they went wrong.
Yes, yes.
Because it's not too late.
That's transformational.
Yes, it's not too late. So we agreed, I will have to, one of us will sacrifice. She either stops her business or employ someone to take care of the business.
So now you have talked about how you want to bring up your children.
Yes.
Then now you have discussed and agreed that one
of us will sacrifice.
So that you give attention to.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So if I sacrifice my job, then she will provide for the family. If she sacrifices, then I will provide for the family.
You were ready as a man?
I was ready as a man, even to sacrifice my own job for the sake of the children.
We must take a breather at this point, but my dear viewer, I believe you are getting maximum benefit. And for younger people that are growing up and you are almost there where you will have this responsibility, I believe you are learning a lot. We are going to take a short break. When we return, we pick it up from there. Don't go far. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Leadership Challenge Show. Today, here on EBN TV, talking on the leadership that is in parenting. To help us to answer these questions is none other than Dr. John Wesley Nyaga. And in the first session, we talked about very important things that touch on parenting. One of the outstanding points that he made in the first session is a preparation that is prepared. And to start us off, I know we will continue in the same line, but Daktari, do you think many parents take parenting as a leadership responsibility?
I don't think many do it. And the reason is because not many have that kind of a knowledge. Or if I may call it, not many have that revelation.
Many do not have that revelation.
Yes.
That understanding.
That understanding that parenting is a leadership in itself.
Is a leadership in itself.
Yes.
Wow.
And any leadership that is there in the society begins being cultivated and molded right at home.
You are saying that even the national leadership,
yes,
if it misses the parenting leadership,
yes,
there is nothing.
There is nothing.
Wow.
Let me pick it up just on that note. I have seen clips and photos of our first founding president of this nation. When he was going for meetings, even national meetings, he would go with his youngest boy, who is today the current president
of the Republic of
Kenya.
Wow. Yes.
What was this man doing?
Those pictures keep on appearing as he's holding his hand.
And that boy was about 5 years old at that time. 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. These are the pictures we see.
Yeah.
What do we see? There is something in this man that he saw and he wanted for this young boy and not for the other children, because this was not the only child he had.
Yeah.
He had other children.
But he exposed him so much.
But he began mentoring. He began exposing this young child.
And this is all coming from parenting.
Yeah.
Okay.
He would do this at home. I would imagine behind the scenes.
Yes.
When the father would sit with his son Uhuru when they are home. What kind of things he would speak to him.
Yeah.
He wasn't telling him about the current. He would talk to him about the future. I see in you. I would want you to be. You must work to become. He began to put things in him. And I believe when this young man was growing, he grew knowing and having an understanding of the things that were impacted in him by the parent.
Yes.
Today, we see a great duplication and replica of what his father was in him.
Yes.
it's not just about the physique. It's about preparing a child. And so when we are talking about leadership out there, it has to begin where? Right in the family.
In the family.
So we formulate it here, we mold it here, we build it here until it is fully structured in a child.
Yeah.
And that's why you find children become even leaders right even before they go to school. Yeah?
Yeah.
You find them being able to guide other children. You find children being very responsible in the house. You will find there are children that will not need to be told to do this and do that. They will just automatically do it.
So it begins with how prepared the parents are.
Yes.
Because you will not be able to impact on your children if you are not prepared.
That's it.
Yeah.
So seeing that you prepared yourself before you got the children, and the children have now come, you now begin instilling and making input in these children, and making sure that what was your vision in you, you have begun transferring it to them bit by bit.
Yeah.
And depending on their level of understanding.
Yes.
You communicate with them, you share with them, you impact them.
Yeah.
When these children begin going out and you take these children to school, I have seen children, even having been a teacher, I have seen children in what they are calling today the play class.
Yes.
Yeah? They
The
used to call
PG.
it the PG, the play group.
Yeah.
Before we were calling it
Pre-unit.
not pre-unit. We were calling it kindergarten. Nursery. Yeah, the kindergarten,
Baby
the
class.
KG, that baby class.
Yes.
You will find that 3.5-year-old child being able to tell others, hey, stop doing this. That is not
at
good.
that age.
At that age.
Uh-huh.
Where has that come from? It must have been molded right at home.
From the parents.
Yeah, from the parent.
Yeah.
And so it is important for us to know that leadership begins being worked on right in the family. The mess that we are seeing today in the schools,
yes,
with our teenagers,
yeah,
with our youths in colleges, high school burning down, institutions.
Yeah.
That problem has not begun in the school.
Yeah.
That problem has begun
from home.
From home.
Yeah.
That child was not well prepared to handle the challenges that are out there. Yeah?
Okay.
And that's very important for us to know as parents that when God has blessed us with these children, we need to begin instilling in them values. We need to begin instilling in them, besides values, we also need to put them discipline that is going to help them to be able to counter the challenges that they are going to meet out there.
Yes.
That when the moment you go out of that gate where your family is, and you get out there, you are not going to meet with your dad out there. You are not going to meet with your mom out there.
You'll be out alone there.
You'll be out alone there. But you are going to meet with your peer groups. You're going to meet with other children who are coming from different backgrounds. Are you prepared to change them, or are you prepared to be changed by them?
Yeah.
The way we prepare them will matter whether they are going to be under the pressure, what we call the peer pressure, or they are going to be over the pressure by pressurizing others, but in the right way.
Yeah.
I'll give an example. When my son went to high school,
yes,
and he was in a school called Ecom Boys. In Form 2, when boys are boys, we went for a parents' meeting. And in that parents' meeting, I was singled out. Parent to so and so, please stand up and come to the front. I was a bit scared because I didn't know why I've been singled out.
And what is going to be said?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Why have I been singled out?
Yeah.
And so I walked to the front. And the principal said, he was called Mr. Mbai, he said, can you please tell us what you did with your child before you brought him to this school, so that he is the only one. He is the only one who has chosen not to do what the other boys were doing. You know what they were doing? All the Form 2s were planning to go for a strike. They were organizing a strike. And the young man stood in the dormitory and in the class, and he said, I'm not going to take part in it. Because I believe whatever problem we are facing, we can be able to voice out those problems and we can be listened to. So why should we strike and why should we ban
the school?
Ban the school. And himself, he said, even if you want to kill me, you do it, but I am going to report this. And he went to the office and he reported to the teacher, and he told the teacher, the principal, these are our sentiments. This is what we want done. If you do this, we are not going to strike.
There will be no strike.
There will be no strike. And one boy, 14-year-old, he actually averted the entire...
One boy. 14
He
years.
didn't have anybody with him. He didn't have
alone.
any support.
Of course, I know how it
he
looks
was
like.
all alone.
Yes.
You can imagine what pressure he was under. But he managed through. God saw him through. Where did that come from?
Yeah.
We all go back to the parenting. The preparation that we did to this young boy, knowing that you are now going out.
Yeah.
And that understanding that we will not be there.
Yeah, parents are not there to tell you.
We are not there with you. But what we have instilled in you, you have now an opportunity to go and utilize it.
So now, Dr.
Yes.
These are things that you did deliberately.
Very deliberate.
You were deliberate about them. You were well prepared.
Yes.
Where are the parents today missing it?
Now, today, the parents are missing it in that, number one, they have no time with their children.
There's no time.
No time. People are busy.
But they say we are busy doing leadership in other places.
Yes. But when you do leadership in other places...
And you fail at home.
And you fail at home, you have failed the entire society. You have failed the nation. Because...
And the repercussions will be felt
yes,
later.
Because the next leader, the next leadership, the leader who will take after you is in your house.
Oh. Wow.
The next leader who will take over that company, the management and the directorship of that organization is right in your house. So if you are leading that company and
neglecting
and you neglect this,
you have no director for tomorrow.
You have no director for tomorrow. You have no manager for tomorrow. And that's where our parents need to come and understand
no
this.
Time with children.
We need to create time for our children.
You said in the first session that when you were preparing to get married, you talked about you were preparing yourself how to bring up your children.
Yes.
And you reached a place where you said one will have to stop working.
Yes.
Sacrifice.
Yes.
Please tell us how that happened, because you said even you yourself as a man, you were willing for the wife to work.
Yes.
And you bring up, you be with the children.
Reverend, my wife was making more money than me. My salary was only 2,093 shillings.
Jesus.
That was my salary. My wife's business would bring more than 10,000. Then it was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
Yes.
That was a lot of money that time.
But you know what? When she conceived and became expectant, we asked ourselves, how are we going to go about it? And my wife said, I will close my business.
10,000.
Yes, I will close my business.
That could be the equivalent of like even 100,000
today.
Yeah.
She said, I will close my business. The reason being, if we employ somebody, this business will lose it. So, and because this is a temporal thing, it's not going to come and live forever. Let's close it so that I be able to take care of our son.
And you knew the pressure that would be there, the financial pressure that would be there.
I knew.
But you counted the other
and
important.
I was ready to take up that challenge, because to me, money is not more important than my son.
Wow, I wish you can say that again.
Money is not more important than our children.
That's true, yes.
These children that God has given us, God knows how to provide for them. It is not as a result of my handwork.
Oh.
And the viewers look at me.
Yes.
Sinjapigika, honestly.
No, you look nice. You look good.
Yeah?
You really look good.
I'm living in my own home.
In fact, you look very young. I did not give you the years you mentioned here.
I am 54 years old
Lord
in
Jesus.
age. That's my
Lord,
age now.
My God, yes, and you look good. No, I have never seen anybody look this way at 50.
Thank you.
54, yeah.
It is the grace of God. Again, it's not about me. But it's because I have accepted not to look at the challenges of life.
So, Doctor, you find that parents are not willing to lose their jobs,
yes,
or stop their businesses,
yes,
to bring up their children.
That's the biggest
and that's
challenge.
where it's going wrong.
That's where it's going wrong, because you bring forth a child, the mother takes a maternity leave, which takes only 3 months. The father takes a paternity leave, which takes only 2 weeks. That child is still an infant. And then you begin going back to work.
And the child is entirely
in the hands of a stranger. Yeah? So, what do you imagine what you are bringing up? At the end of the day, you lose it. Because what you are supposed to instill in this child will be instilled by someone else.
To reproduce yourself into the mind of that child.
Yes.
Yes.
It will be done by someone else. And some of even the means that we employ are not educated. And so, when this child begins to learning, they will also not learn from the maid, they will learn from the screen.
The TV. Also, the maid has no time for them.
Yes, because also the maid is busy with her house chores.
Of course, you left a lot of work for the maid.
Yes.
Yes.
So, you get to realize that this child will learn from
entirely on their own.
On their own.
Oh.
And when they go out there to play with other children, they also catch this and catch that and catch that. And that is what you'll be seeing.
So a lot of things that our children are doing today, they did not get them from parents. They got them from TV, the violence, the banning of schools. It's because the parents' voice was absent.
It was absent.
And they learned from the screen.
Let me cite an example, Reverend. When I was teaching as a principal, not far, just here in Umonja Deliverance Church, the King's School, I was the principal of that school. One time, a child, a pre-unit child. Pre-unit is 5-6 child.
Yeah.
That is what they are calling the PP2 today.
PP2.
That child was caught. They were a boy and a girl. And the girl was showing the boy what to do on her. Okay?
Really?
Yes. I'm talking about a sex case between a PP2 boy and a PP2 girl. The boy did not know what is happening, but she was being shown by
the girl what to do.
What to do. That is happening behind the toilet.
6-year-old.
A 6-year-old. So when that case was brought to me, because the teachers were mad and they didn't know how to go about it, and the case was brought to me, so I asked the teachers, what can you do with this case? You can't beat this child. This child doesn't know what he's doing. That child has been taught. But you can be sure this lesson that she is now practicing did not come from the parents. So let's call the parents and we see. So when we brought these parents and we explained to them what was happening, the first thing was denial.
Our children did not do that.
No, please. Mwalimu unawekelea mtoto wangu. Haiwezi. This is not my daughter. But after explaining, na tukauliza mtoto na mtoto akaelezea. Akasema, si ni kitu tunafanya na auntie nyumbani. Ni kitu
really?
Yeah. So these are things that...
So it is a house help that is teaching this child how to do these things.
How to do it. Right. So now, where is the parent in this case? Why are you not able to understand what is happening with your child? It's because of your absence. So it is important for our viewers to know this. Creating time.
Yeah.
Right now, I know there is that challenge.
Yes.
We have so many demands, financial demands, that are making us, we must work, which is okay.
Yeah.
But in the midst of our busy schedules, can we be able to create time so that we have time with our children? We'll be able to learn. Can we minimize on other issues?
Other issues.
So that we can create time for these children. For instance, after COVID, children went back to school.
Yeah.
I had my daughter who was in Form 4. And when she went back to school, of course, we didn't have time with her because she is in school. So after they have done the exams and she came back home, I had so much, Reverend Kavoi, I had so much to do in the ministry. I had so many appointments, but I had to cancel some of them so that I have time with my daughter.
Wow.
Yeah? And I would take her out, we go and sit somewhere, eat whatever you want, my daughter, but I also want to hear you. Nataka nikusikie. Ongea na mimi, ongea na dad.
Yes.
Talk to me. Yeah? What is in your heart? What is in your mind? What are you thinking?
Dad and daughter.
Yes, now that you are through with the exams, tunangojea results. You see, I'm also preparing her
for whatever comes
outcome, the results that are going to come.
Yes,
and I want to assure her, you are my daughter, whether you get an E or whether you get an A.
And you know, the parents have had the kids hanging themselves.
Yes.
Because of bad results.
Yes.
Yes.
So I had to prepare her. Results are coming, whether E or A.
You are my daughter.
You are my daughter, and I will accept. And I will accept those results as they come. And so I prepared her. Lucky enough, she had an A minus. She didn't disappoint herself. She didn't disappoint me.
Yes.
Yeah. Now that these results have come, because I have had time with her, there are things I had to do. Number one is to motivate her, to encourage her, and to reward her.
To reward her?
To reward her.
Wow.
For the good results.
Yes.
You have done it well. You are an encouragement to me. You have not disappointed me, just like your brother and sisters who are ahead of me. You haven't disappointed me.
Yes.
In fact, you have beaten them all. Yeah? And I have taken time.
So you are on time.
On time.
Parents
even now,
time.
I am on time with her. Because as long as she is with me, I cannot make myself so busy to abandon her. And I will not say that she is with the mother. No. The mother has her role to play.
Yeah.
I have a role to play as a father. And so I'm working with her.
That blame shift game where
it is not there.
My daughter is with her mother and the mother is saying the father should talk to.
That is not there. Because I am taking my time and I'm with her. And so it is very, very important, and I want to urge that in the midst of your busy schedules, please try to create time. Don't overburden yourself over the weekends. If you are weekends, you don't go to work on Saturday and Sunday, please take time. Stay with your children. Go with them out. Take an outing with them. Take a walk with them. Take a drive with them. Spend time with them. And when you go to spend time, it's not the way I am seeing the current generation doing, Reverend. Ati wanaenda wanaweka watoto kwa gari. Watoto wanaenda, mkienda pale nyinyi mnaingia pale kukula na kunywa, and then watoto wanaenda kucheza. That is not taking time.
That's not time with the
That is not time with the children. You are just wasting.
You transfer the same problem from home to the playground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that to me that would be more of bonding with your wife than bonding with your children.
So the time you're talking about, the parent with the child, is when they are conversing and discussing important things.
You sit with them and you are discussing. You want to know ni nini ukusumbua, ni nini iko ndani yako. You get it out from the child. Child. Ongea na mtoto. That way you are preparing that child. Na pia there are things you are talking to that child, kwa sababu unamuelezea kuna kesho. You are now today, but tomorrow you'll be this way.
Yes.
Yeah? So how are you preparing these children?
Yeah.
It's very, very important. And that is what leadership is.
Yeah.
You are a leader if you succeed in your family.
Wow, wow. You are a leader if you succeed in your family. At that point, we take a short break. We'll be right back. Well, we are back on the Leadership Challenge Show, and today we are majorly talking on the leadership that is in parenting. And we have already heard that if your leadership fails at home, it cannot be leadership anywhere. If you fail at home, you cannot brag you have succeeded in other places, because at the end of the day, what you thought you were building will crumble because there is no successor. And Dr. Nyaga has been helping us to break it down. Now, Dr., please help us on the details, the intricacies that are carried in parenting. What are some of these things that the details, the inner things that parents need to know? And I think you're going to be very direct on the parents on what they need to do so that they can be successful parents and succeed in the leadership at parenting.
Thank you, Rev. I'll begin by quoting a scripture.
Yes.
Not quoting, but reading.
Reading.
In the book of Genesis, chapter 18.
Genesis 18.
This is God speaking about Abraham.
Yes.
And Abraham is not yet a parent up to this point.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten Isaac, the child of the promise. Although, so chapter 18, verse number 18, the Bible says, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and a mighty nation.
Yes.
That's apparent.
Genesis 18?
Yes, 18:18.
18:18.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. Verse 19. This is the one, this is God speaking.
Yes.
And he says, for I know him.
I know him.
I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him.
Wow.
And they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he hath spoken of him.
Wow. And I think then God is expecting a lot from parents.
God is expecting a lot in us parents.
Wow.
Before Abraham even became a parent, God is saying, I know him. And the reason why I will give him to be a father is because he will take care of these children. He will guide his household in the ways of the Lord and in the fear of the Lord.
Yeah.
In other words, he will prepare them to become responsible people in the society. What do we need to do? Picking it up from there, what do we need to do? Number one, we need to show love to our children. I know
show love to
all parents love their children. It is actually as a result of love that you are working.
Yeah.
You want your children to eat well, to be dressed well. You want your children to be educated in good schools. You want your children to get the best.
Yeah.
That's why you are working so hard day and night. It is because of that love. But unfortunately, you are directing that love in the wrong way. Because the moment you direct your love for the children to work so that you can make money, you end up losing the children. So balance your love. Balance your love and make sure that you give children the love that they require. Love is not money. Love is not gifts. Love is not treasures. Love is being there. Kuwa hapo. Sacrifice. So love is sacrificial.
Love is being there.
Love is sacrificial. And the practical love means you are there, and you are with that child, with your children.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, be a good communicator.
Okay.
Be a good communicator. Communicate well with your children.
Yeah.
And we need to learn that communication will vary. The way you communicate with the little children is not the same way you communicate with
the teenagers.
The teenagers and the young adults.
The young adults.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's important to know when you are communicating with the young children, it's more of, sometimes it's more of a monologue. Yeah?
One-sided.
It's one-sided. Because you are giving more.
Just instructing.
Just instructing. And just making sure that whatever you're instructing is being done.
Yes.
But as these children begin to grow
and be mature
and they are getting exposed, they also have a lot of knowledge. And so being a good communicator means then you are there to converse with them. This is a two-way communication.
It's two-way now.
So you want to get to know from them
what they think,
then
you input,
and you input
into that. Yes.
And a little bit of, you know, helping in case you're finding someone is being bent.
Yeah.
But you see, you have to keep it right from there, and then you grow with it. You grow with it. Why we are having a lot of problems today with the teenagers is because you want to begin communicating with a teenager who is a stranger to you. Is your son, is your daughter, but is a stranger to you.
So you cannot introduce some of the
things. Kuweko, you have not been there.
So
umetokelezea, umepata yeye akona yale maisha anaishi, and then now you want to begin correcting hayo maisha.
Then they will not accept you.
Hawata kukubali because you are now infringing.
You have not been talking to them. Now you want to talk to them.
This is it.
Then they say, what's wrong with that?
This is it. So what do? Begin to create a relationship. And again, that relationship will take us back to sacrifice, creating time, so that ukue na huyu mtu, muonge, and share. I will still not fail to give an example with my daughter. I have my second born daughter. When she went to the university, she went in Mombasa. Mombasa is a distance away from us. And so we were not able to keep that, you know, communication a lot. When our daughter came home during this COVID period, I realized, no, there are some things I'm seeing that are not right. I am asking the mother, are you noticing this? And the mother says yes. Okay, so we decided, because we are not starting to communicate.
You have already been doing
that. We have
that
been into it.
Already,
So I said one day in our devotion, Grace, I don't know how your program is tomorrow, but I would wish you create time for me. Create time for me. Tomorrow I have some free time, and I want to have time with you. And she says, it's okay, Dad.
It's okay.
So we agreed on the time. And we got into the car, and I went out with her together with the mother. And wherever we went and he sat down and we began to chat, we were able to point out our observation to her.
Yes.
We are not telling her what you are doing is wrong. We are only pointing out our observation. What do you see? Kulingana na vile tumekulea, kulingana na vile tumewalea. Are you there?
Or you have departed.
Na wewe ukiangalia, ukiona hii na hii na hii umefanya, unaona kama iko sawa ama haiko sawa. Na msoza kasema, enyewe sioni kama, okay? You see, I am helping her now to begin to understand ya kwamba ametoka kwa ile njia tumefanya nini? Tumemweka. Kwa hivyo arudi kwa hiyo njia. So when we begin to communicate, we are not here as, you know, usurping authority na kufinyilia and you must and must and must. Hapana. Wakifika kuna ile umri inafika, lazima uwasikize. Na ukiwasikiza, you reason with them.
You reason with them.
Yeah, that is communication.
But also you have mentioned something very important,
yes,
that there has to be a basis,
yes,
on which you are talking to them.
This is it.
Because you had been talking to them,
yes,
to your daughter.
Yes.
Now talking to her again was not.
It wasn't a
big problem.
Yeah.
But now there are those parents who never talked about anything.
Yes.
Now the daughter is here at the university.
Yes.
Calling her to talk to her becomes an uphill task.
That's it.
Yes.
I have a parent right now whom I'm dealing with.
Yes.
I'm not even dealing with a daughter. I'm dealing with the two parents.
The two parents.
Yeah.
You are dealing with the parents.
The parents. The reason being,
okay,
because they are fighting because their daughter came expectant.
Oh.
And they only came to discover their daughter is expectant while in college.
Oh.
Yeah. So they are surprised.
They are surprised.
Yes, they are surprised, and they are now the father is pointing fingers to the mother. Wewe ndio hukufundisha? Wewe hukumwambia vile anafaa. The question is, was the mother supposed to prepare the daughter to go and have sex in college and prevent herself from being pregnant?
Yeah. So you are surprised that they are surprised.
Yes.
You are surprised
so
that they are surprised.
I'm surprised that you are surprised.
Yes.
So why are you blaming one another?
Yeah. How did you expect the daughter to?
Yeah. How much time did you take to prepare her while she was in primary, while she was in high school, while she goes to college?
Yeah.
Wewe kazi yako ilikuwa ni kutafuta pesa,
kulipa school fees. Enda.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mtoto amefanya, thank God ya kwamba alipita.
You should thank God
ya kwamba hata alipita primary,
yes,
akapita secondary, to even afford grades to
according to your carelessness, this could have happened even earlier.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sasa kwa sababu ameingia na imekuwa hivyo, why quarrel? Can you now begin to learn how to live with it? Your daughter is not going to abort. Hapana.
Yeah. So this is a reality you
It's a reality
stay
now.
with.
You have to learn to stay with it.
Yes.
Yeah. So kaa nayo na mkae. So I'm helping them to learn how to cope up with it. As I also deal with the daughter.
And so you're saying that you parent, even when they make mistakes, you continue to love them and be a good parent
watoto,
to them.
hata mtoto akifanya makosa, huyo mtoto ni wako.
Wow.
Tafadhali mzazi unjue hivyo. Huyo mtoto hata akinywa pombe, avute mbangi, akuwe na mimba, huyo mtoto bado ni wako. Utatoa jina yako. You will not remove your name tag from that child.
I think, Doctor, many parents are giving up on their children, especially children that are wayward a little bit. Yeah, they are beginning to give up.
I want to encourage, don't give up. Seek help. That's all I can say for now.
Yes.
Seek help. You need to be helped to know how to cope up with that child. Kama huyo mtoto ameingia kwa drugs.
Yes.
How do you cope
don't
up
give
with
up
it?
on the child.
You don't give up with the child. How do you cope up with it? Because until you come in, na huyo mtoto aone kweli kama mzazi you have come in, you have shown the love that is near, you are there to walk with. Huyo mtoto atakubali kutoka kwa hizo nini? Kwa hizo drugs.
Wow.
And let me tell you how tough things are. On the 9th of September, Reverend, I'm receiving a young man being sent to me. Anakuja kutoka from Idaho in America. Anatumwa akunje nikae na yeye for only 2 weeks. Kwa sababu amekolea kwa drugs. And they are sending this child to me. This son to me.
Na 2 weeks.
Nikae na yeye wiki mbili, waone kama
anaweza
kureform because the boy is just into drugs.
Wow.
Anatoka America, analipa ndege
to come to stay with you.
Kuja akae na mimi for only 2 weeks.
Wow.
And if it demands to extend, we would even rather extend that ticket. Ndio akakae angalau tuone kama atafanya nini, atasaidika.
Put some sense into him.
Hao wazazi wa huyo kijana wameona upendo ule walipenda mtoto nao umewaharibu mtoto. But now having walked with them and journeyed with them in this struggle and this challenge.
So Doctor, you talked about parents loving their children, but there is the love that is extra.
Kuna ile upendo unazidi.
You cannot correct.
You baby the child, mtoto, daddy, mami, unasikia
mami,
those terminologies
those
that are used today.
Yeah.
Daddy, mami. Na huyo mtoto akikosa, you can't correct. I want one of the intricacies
na kichapa umechapa mami.
Umechapa mami. Wengine hata wanaenda kukuoro hata walimu kwa shule kwa sababu ulichapa mtoto.
Yes, with the parents.
Mimi I was threatened hata kupelekwa Buruburu police kwa sababu ya kucorrect mtoto na kiboko. But let's know this. Discipline is key.
Discipline is key
when it comes to parenting.
And that discipline is based on love.
Ebu ona wewe kule wewe you are a manager. Yule mfanyikazi anakuja kazi amechelewa. What do you do? So you instill discipline.
Yes.
You give warnings.
So people are instilling discipline in the place where they are working.
Lakini but hapa home, nyumbani, mami usifanye hivyo tena usifanye hivyo tena. I mean you baby the mtoto to a point ya kwamba
you spoil. Oh,
yeah?
Okay.
So and when you spoil because of love, that excessive love ambayo haina boundaries inakuwa shinda. So we must put in some good discipline measures. Be authoritative.
Yeah.
Let your word be your word. But because you are disciplining in love. The Bible gives us even the permission to use a what?
The stick.
A rod.
Yeah, a rod.
The Bible says that a rod of correction does not kill.
Yeah.
Don't wait for that rod to be used out there. Use it right at home.
Because even if you refuse to use it, it will be used
out
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hata Mswahili alisema asiyesikia la mamake
atafunzwa
na ulimwengu. Hiyo kiboko wewe mama umekataa kupatia mtoto, wewe baba umekataa kupatia mtoto wako.
The rebukes you have refused to rebuke your child.
Atapata huko nje. Atapata huko
nje. And
it will be rough. And that is now where the problem comes in. Wakienda secondary school, hauku akemea ukiwa nao, akienda pale anakemewa, anafura. Na anaanza kurevenge. Wanasema sasa wacha tuchome, wacha tufanye kwa sababu walimu hawafanyi vile tunataka.
And it is worse when now it becomes kiboko ulimwengu kuwafundisha inakuwa mob justice. Yeah.
So please, let's do it right at home. And then finally, it is important, besides hiyo kupenda na nini, it is important also we walk with our children. I want to instill that in us. Let's walk with our children. Journey with them. Desire to know vile mtoto wako ameshinda. Desire to know, to be there with them. Unajua wazee wengi,
whatever they pass
whatever they are passing with them.
Tafadhali and they know that he is there.
Yes, ukitoka kazini kimbia nyumbani. Wachana na hii mikutano ya kando sijui kamweredho sijui nini. Endeni pale nyumbani. Stay with your child. Kaa na watoto wako. Yeah? Spend time. Reverend Kavoi, I have remained not because I couldn't afford. But in my house nilikaa bila TV for some time. For some time nimekaa bila TV. And to surprise you, I bought TV.
Not because you could not afford.
Yes, nimenunua TV njuzi tu nikijiandaa for my daughter when my daughter is coming.
Wow.
After form 4. Akuje sasa.
Akute
TV kwa nyumba. Ndiye wa mwisho, sasa we can enjoy ourselves in the house.
Wow. Yeah.
Kwa nini? Number one is because TV inatunyang'anya wakati wetu na watoto. Yeah.
Okay.
Tunaingia pale, tuna watch movie, tuna watch soap operas. Tunakosa kuongea. Sasa situachane na hiyo kitu basi tuongee.
Dr. Nyaga, because we are running out of time, I will want you to look at your camera and say 1, 2, 3 important things in summary to the parents that have been following us in this program.
Parents, thank you that you are following us and you have followed us in this program. But as we come to the conclusion of this, I want to say this to you. Life cannot be life when we have failed. We need to check on where we have failed. You cannot be a success out there, whether you are a manager, whether you are a director, whether you are what or what. You succeed out there, and back home, you are just crying because you have failed. Let's look at where we have failed and let's begin to correct. It is not too late. If you have messed up, if you messed up or you are continuing to mess up, it is not too late to make a correction. Number two, I also know some of us do not have that much information and that sufficient knowledge on these parenting issues. And you also need to be helped. Take time, create time. Many people today have gone and enrolled in counseling courses. And they are enrolling in counseling courses because of the challenges they are having with their children. As much as that is good, but that's not the solution. The solution is you sit down and be helped and being given one-on-one way of handling issues so that you can practically go and do it. Let's make parenting practical. Yeah, let's make bringing up our children practical, so that we can be able to bring up mature, responsible, dependable children who can be valuable to the church, valuable to the community, and to the nation at large, and the large society. The world has become a village. Today you are with your son, you are with your daughter. Tomorrow your son flies out, goes to another country where he's going to work. How he or she will behave there will depend on the principles that you have imparted in this child. Therefore, let's do it early, let's do it right, and God will honor the work that we will do on our children.
Wow, you see, now we cannot really finish everything we needed to discuss today, but we must put a comma somewhere. We will have another session with Dr. Nyaga helping us on the issue of parenting, but we have established that there's a lot of leadership that is needed to be done through parenting, and we should not fail. Up to there, we just have to conclude, and thank you for being together with us, and keep it EBN. Until next time, God bless you and bye-bye.